ground prepped for potatoes. 7 rows there. Just took about 2.5 days to dig it and break it up and clean it up, put the rows in. Got all the rest to do down there. Well, potato planting. I've got 3 rows to plant my seed potatoes. They've all been cut and then left for a few days to skin over. They've all got at least one eye, most 2, sort of starting to develop. Quite a few of them. I'm planting them about 12 inches, 30 centimetres apart in rows that are about 2'3", 2'6" roughly apart. Now I'm just adding a little bit of like alfalfa pellets to give a little bit of nitrogen, just to start them off when they grow. Later on they won't need nitrogen, potassium. All covered up. Now, the rows are a little bit closer together than you probably would do if you was going to earth up solely with soil that's on the plot, because obviously you need to take soil from between the rows to spread it onto each side to earth them up to keep sunlight off your potatoes, otherwise they go green. But I'm going to earth up a little bit with what soil, and then I've got some straw, and I'm going to put a layer of straw and maybe some grass clippings over the top to help earth them up to keep the sun off them. So I've planted them a little bit closer together than I probably would if I didn't have the resource of that straw. I've also got the next plot all dug, raked and prepped. It's another 80 square metres. That's going to grow all my legumes. That's beans and peas. That's ready to go. I've got another plot here to dig and prep. That'll be for corn or maize, sweet corn and squash. Maybe some sweet potatoes. Got the beds done in the tunnel. Raining and windy as usual. Sheep in the background. Put the compost on. 2 rows of tomatoes going in here. Row of cucumbers with a few aubergines at the end, and then on the end peppers, a mix of sweet and hot. Everything's going to grow up strings. I've got wires at the top to have the strings for the tomatoes and the cucumbers. Obviously peppers don't need that. They're little bushes. That side is south, so the light will come through. Weather's not very nice today. It's very windy and bleak. I've got my pipes in for the irrigation. Done the trench. Got the tractor back repaired now, so that works. The 32 at the bottom is pretty much water straight from the well. That's just going onto the things. The 25 here will be filtered and water that goes through the UV system, so that's drinking water effectively, but that'll go to the new barn, which is going here for the animals. There's piping that's been used as a conduit with string through the middle to pull the cables through, because I'm planning on putting solar panels on the roof of the barn, so they go all the way up here in the trench. Not filled it yet. Go up to the control room. So, big one goes in that hole, smaller one in there, and there's the big one connected up with a valve on. Spring's obviously lashed to it so I don't lose that end. So that pretty much comes straight out of the well, straight in. The small one comes up here and will eventually be connected to one of those 2 copper pipes. And it'll go through all the filtration system. It'll have technically 3 filters, but that one's only a large particle. Then smaller one, and then through the UV, and then a charcoal filter, and out it goes. It's quite a powerful UV, so that should pretty much provide quite sterile water to drink. Should be no bugs or bacteria in it, and that will all be powered off the solar, especially when I have some new solar panels. Well, I've got the solar panels, I just got to build a barn to put them on, and they'll come up, the cables will come up there and be connected in, and that should double up my power requirements, which will be more than enough to power the pump during the summers. My latest investment in the farm. Huge big pile of cow manure. Bit stinky, but when that's rotted down, that'll make some nice fertiliser. It's a little bit fresh yet, but Yeah, it's taller than I am anyway. I would say there's probably 8 cubic metres there. I mean, when it rots down, it'll probably be 4 or 5, but that's good manure for the garden. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today. Been compost making. That's got grass clippings, sheep manure, hay, straw, all mixed. And believe me when I tell you, if you put your hand in the middle of that, it's hot. That shouldn't, yield a better cubic metre of compost, hot method. In a couple of days I shall turn that. I'll pull the ring off, stick the ring somewhere else and stack it back in. Berkeley method. Hot composted. Just over a month, that should be good compost. Bit of spare material when I get some more grass clippings. This one, I need to add some more layers to it, but it's already red hot. I wouldn't like to put my fingers in it. That's what the rest of that's for. And some ash from the fire. Bits of charcoal in there, that'll all mix in. Been sprinkling a little bit of that in this one in thin layers. I'd already made the round one before I had the fire. This one I've been making up as I'm cutting bits of the lawn for the grass clippings, for the nitrogen. Obviously I had a fire. I had a big pile of like hedge trimmings and just generally stuff I couldn't really get rid of or do anything with, so piled it up, burnt it, collected the ash. And there. Yeah, that's heating up nicely. I have the other one here. This is more of a cold compost pile. I didn't really have enough grass clippings when I made this one, so this one's not going to rot down very fast, but I'm in no rush for it to do so. It has heated up a little, but nowhere near the other two. There's nowhere near enough grass clippings and manure.